Okay. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about the student riot in Montreal there about the university. So I started thinking, why do they keep putting the fees up for the university for an education? Uh, well, the teachers want more money, I suppose. Here's what I was thinking. Now, no matter what job you go to, you have to, whether you go to college for 10 years or 5 years, uh, you still have to go to, you still have to go and learn how to do that job. Now, my policy when I got a job is that I learned everything about it. Then I didn't let anybody tell me, what to do. Not even people who I was working for. If they stood there and watched me, I'd say, "You want to do this?" They say, "No." I said, "Well, leave me alone. Quit watching me." Because I learned the job, I learned how to do it, and I did it good. Now, let's take this for instance. It used to be the government in Canada, anyway, that you borrowed from to get your college education. Now it's the banks. Everything always goes back to the banks. The banks make money no matter what. You borrow from the banks, and it's just like you're buying a new house. It takes 20 years or so, if or so or whatever. It takes a long time to pay off these student loans. So my idea was prepare these people in great. You got to learn how to read, write, and arithmetic. Well, you can learn that in 10 years or less. It all depends how smart you are. So what about in the 11th and 12th grade? You pretty well know what you want to do in the future. Start training then. The government has to pay for it because you're entitled to a secondary education paid for by the government. You take these courses in grade 11 and 12. Uh, at grade 12, if you want to change, then you change to something else. I'm not saying get rid of the universities, but most jobs that you come out of uh, high school, if you learn 10, 11, you still got to go. Even if you went to college, you still got to go learn how to do the job on the spot. I mean, you just can't say a doctor. You just can't go there and start cutting a person open. You got to watch, learn how to do it. You can't go and learn nothing in the classroom to do this. It's on site. You got to learn. Same as any job. You know, now for me, I've learned more about working and that after I left school. The only thing I learned in school is reading, writing, and arithmetic. They call it the three R's. I don't know why. Uh, but you see my point. You can learn reading, writing, and that, and arithmetic. By the time you reach the 11th grade, you're ready to start training for what you want to do in life. Then, when you get out of high school, graduate, then go train at these jobs. I mean, some jobs you might need to go to college a little longer for, like lawyers. You got to learn how to lie. That's where all our politicians come from, and nobody's better at it than them. Talk, fast talkers. Well, I mean, you grow up with that. I mean, they're just blatant blowhards who got money And if they ain't got money, by the time they leave the government, they'll have yours. I'm not saying they're going to steal it, but they're well paid for what they do. There's no need of a Senate in Canada. There's no need of having a senator that's not elected. 600 senators. Now that's ridiculous. We need 2 senators for each province and each territory. That would total up to about, about 24, 26 senators. Now I know there's 2 provinces that are going to say, well, we need to have twice as many as the other provinces. I ain't going to say what those provinces are. I just want to see if it ever happens, whether it comes true or not. Because I did say, and I told a social worker, I was talking to her one time, I said, you watch. They're going to start cutting back on teaching jobs, government jobs, post office jobs, civil servant jobs. Sure enough, 4,000 civil servants in this province alone. Teachers. I don't know if they're all teachers, but they're in that industry. Like they're cutting school boards from I think it's 14 to 7, and and making only 7, so they don't need all the staff. Now I said this was going to happen, and I told the worker that. I said, and the only thing I see increasing is the police force, is so they can control us, keep our mouth shut, spy on us. They're spying on Facebook now, which is kind of an invasion of privacy, because when you sign into Facebook, you sign in there for unless they become your friends. Now if they become your friends, and they so just make sure who your friends are. I mean, I ain't got nothing to hide. I got beautiful women on my Facebook, and I, excuse me, you know, I'm not ashamed of it. My wife says I'm a pervert, but I like looking at beautiful women. They're not underage. They're all 18 and over, and most of them are a lot older than 18. But that's not going here or there. I'm just talking about the. I heard something about the RCMP and the U.S. Army. I don't know what the hell that was going on. I never read all of it, so I had that bad habit. I read parts of something and then jump into conclusions. But this was no conclusion. I told her, and uh, government jobs are going to basically be gone. The only ones that are going to be there is ones that are. Well, let's take Harper for instance. Harper is becoming more of a dictator than he doesn't ask anybody what to do. He says, "We're doing this, and that's it." McKay backs him up. Byrd backs him up. I mean, wasn't that what the Second World War is all about? So, because of dictators, that's why they fight in countries now, because people want to get rid of the dictators, and they ask Canada, United States to help. Well, I think Canada should go back to peacekeeping myself, only. That's only my opinion. Uh, and United States, you know, they're all these wars are breaking their country. I mean, I feel sorry for them. I mean, because United Nations put them in that role, and United Nations is basically Illuminati. I'll tell you that right now. You think I'm kind of parafixed on Illuminati? I'm just telling you where they go, what they do, the world order. It's not a all I think about. I think about everything. I think about kids dying in wars. I think about people dying of cancer unnecessarily. This is no need of all this stuff going on because now they're coming out every once in a while with, you know, mostly Canadians, because United States doesn't control whether it'll ever get passed or not. Is another thing. I mean, they're coming up with cures of everything. Uh, Stem cells is a very controversial subject, but I'm also for stem cell research. I mean, uh, they throw it away anyway. I mean, you keep a little piece. Some people keep a little piece. That wouldn't that start to smell after a while? It's a human part of the biblical cord. But anyway, that's not my point. If this can help cure more diseases faster, it should be done. But that's just my opinion. I'm not saying anybody else's opinion. I just say my own. And that's it. You can agree or disagree. Most of you don't listen to this stuff anyway because you think it's not important. Down the road, it's going to be important. You would have said, well, I should have listened. Well, I'm not telling you to listen. I'm asking you to, because things have got to change. Now, like I said, your politics in the United States affects our politics in Canada. And I think the Republican Party would be the worst party to go into office right now because they did a debate on Jewish, I don't know, everybody keeps saying we got to help the Jews, we got to help the Jews. The Jews are over there saying, well, we're going to bomb Iran. And the head of the Mossad says, well, the guy in Iran is a reasonable man. You can talk to him. So, you don't know what's going on. You know. Now, you couldn't expect, I was going to say Osama bin Laden, but Obama to fix what George Bush screwed up in 4 years. You got George Bush, who was the worst president I've ever seen. Then we got one in the office here now, Stephen Harper, who is our George Bush. God help us all. But it's not only that. You see the weather that's happening around the world. I remember I said it was man-made. I still believe that. They're following the script of the Bible. Remember, well, I don't know what the Quran or the Torah or any of them hold, but in the Bible, pestilence, disease, what's happening with the weather now, all that was supposed to happen. The other night they found the new book of Nostradamus. Funny how they found that in a hurry. The world's supposed to end in 2012. Well, that's not going to happen because I asked you 100 times. Go to Prophecy 2012 and look up New Age of Aquarius. It's a new world order they want to start. They don't want to destroy this world. They want to start a new world order so they can control everybody here. They're bringing in the immigrants to be the slaves. I started this to start talking about health and then I end up talking about something else. See, that's what I do. I have a plan. I never follow it. I just start rambling on. But because I'm kind of fixated on all the jobs that are being lost, and now they're telling the people in Canada you won't get unemployment insurance, and a lot of them are seasonal workers. Go look for another job in another province or someplace else. or you would get unemployment. Why should we leave our homes? You know, we've lived here. Well, I was born here, not in Moncton, but in Miramichi. I lived in Moncton for 40 years, but getting old. God. Anyway, old and a little wiser, I hope. Try to listen to it, please. It's no big. It's a 15 minutes out of your day. Thank you. Why is this still running? I don't understand. It never run that long before. Maybe they're going to let me talk. Maybe they can't shut me up. I don't know. But usually after 15 minutes and 30 seconds, they shut it off. But anyway, being that I'm still on the air, let's talk about. They say, don't let your children see this video because it'll kind of upset them. They say the children growing up today won't live as long as our generation because of all the. Well, they don't get the exercise. I mean, when I was young, we ran, I played football, hockey, baseball. So did my son. They're always out exercise. But the generation now has got iPods, computers. Well, I got a computer. Uh, Now, your main enemy here is sugar. Sugar will. Everybody's born with cancer cells in it, so don't be scared of that. You're born with them in it. Some of it's hereditary that you're born with them, but doesn't mean you're going to have cancer. The cells are in your body, like there's other cells in your body, all kinds of cells. It doesn't mean anything's gonna happen to you. But here's the thing. Sugar feeds these cells, the cancer cells. Uh, if it feeds the cancer cells, and and the sugar and everything. And like I said it in one of my other videos, I was surprised to find out there's sugar in milk. There's sugar in soup. You can't buy nothing. They put sugar in it because it's a $200 billion industry. Cancer is. Uh, $200 billion. Most of the money you donate goes to pay the workers, and so these people can still make their $200 billion a year. Won't have to pay the workers or nobody else. Doctor even mentions the word a cure for cancer, and he's off to Mexico or shot or because there was a guy that found a cure for cancer. I told you about that before. I'm kind of surprised this is still running because they never let me do that before. Anyway, now I'm a diabetic. Now I also use Splenda, Equal, or another substitute besides sugar. But what they don't tell you is that these are man-made. They're toxic. They're man-made. They don't burn off in your body as fast as real sugar. I mean, you got to exercise. It's only natural. It's the only way you can burn your sugar off is exercise. And you got to exercise. Walking's the best exercise it's supposed to be. Swimming's good exercise. Even though I haven't tried it in a while, I'll probably drown myself now. Anyway, but the spending Equal and that stuff don't burn off your body because it's man-made. Now I've been listening to this stuff on Canned AM for the last 3 or 4 days in a row. Well, not counting the weekend. They're not on the weekend. And this is what they come up with, and they know what causes it. And Canada, I think Canada is trying harder to find a cure than anybody else. It, it's not the problem of finding the cure; is whether they let you use it or not. See, it's the money involved in it, and whether they let you use that money, that fine to, because I told you about the Bloom box. That died in the wind. I never heard any more about that. I don't know if the guy is still making them or what. Great idea. Actually, it wasn't really his. This was the rocket scientists that invented these boom boxes. Now, Tesla in 1800s invented electricity from the fifth dimension, bending time in the fifth dimension. It goes something like that. Anyway, uh, I could be wrong, but Tesla did invent it. The only problem with Tesla's idea was that he wanted to give it to everybody free. And now they're saying Tesla, Tesla. Uh, now they're saying, well, that was just a hoax now. That really didn't happen. Well, it did really happen. It even showed that the design of the machine. I've seen it. I mean, I haven't seen it really. I've seen it on the computer, and I've read about it, and I've heard about it from another person, uh, very smart person, dead now, but is smart in most ways. But looking after himself wasn't one. I try to look after myself. I don't know if I do a very good job or not. The wife thinks I'm nuts. She thinks I'm a pervert because I look at all these women. But I'm just rambling on here now. But my whole point was when I started this tape, was to get you to cut down the fat, cut down the sugar. You got to have so much sugar in your body for energy. I mean, I'm not saying do without sugar. I mean, I eat a little ice cream every day. I'm a diabetic, but I only eat a scoop or about a scoop, you know. So, and I exercise, burn it off, uh, keep regular checks on my sugar 5 times a day, and my sugar is usually pretty good. My average they do it every over 3 months. The last time was 6 point something for those 3 months, which is good, for a diabetic. Before that, it was lower and lower, but is it's probably like I take 2 needles a day. I have to stick in myself. There was one there saw my daughter insurance one day, and I said, "Well, I got to go take my heroin." I grabbed my needle, the bottle of insulin, and I went in the bathroom. I don't know if she thought I was serious then or not, but she swabbed their mouths to get insurance. Uh, do they do that now? Take DNA tests to qualify for life insurance? Now I'm a smoker, so it'll cost me uh, for 2,000 $2,500 in coverage. It costs me about $40 or 50, I think it is, for a month. A month. I mean, it'll just go pay the funeral parlor, which I should be doing anyway because of my age. Uh, the doctor wanted me to have a colonoscopy. I didn't look at that idea too good, but it should be everybody should have over the age of 50 should have one once a year. I've never had one yet. Of course, I'm only 48. Yeah, so that day's gone, long gone. I was born in 48. But anyway, we have to save our kids. I mean, these are generations of the future. If we can't, we have to. If it's too late to save them, we have to get to them to save theirs. Take all these little. I mean, having a computer and stuff is all right, but you gotta get up and walk around once in a while. It wouldn't hurt you. Uh, it's good for you. Walking is supposed to be one of the best. I mentioned that earlier. I keep repeating myself. Uh, you people have got to start listening to like on my Facebook now. I've got people who fitness. Uh, you just got to go on my Facebook and find them that they have fitness. They there's healthy foods. They show you how to eat and everything. But the most healthiest food is right off the farm. Use old-fashioned manure. Like I said, if you want bullshit, go to Ottawa. You'll find some there. Uh, excuse my language, but as you can tell, I don't think much of the way the government is doing things. The best governor. I was only about 15 at the time. I thought was about Louis J. Robichaud. He was the best. He done more for the province. Then I was talking that we go down stairs in the room down there, sit around, and about 4 or 5 of us, and talk about things. And I said about him being. They said, well, he was an alcoholic. He might have been an alcoholic, but he got things done. Same as Winston Churchill drank a couple of quarts of vodka a day and always had a cigar stuck in his mouth, but not vodka, he drank something, I don't know what it was, but it was a couple of a day, and he fought a war, and he became prime minister afterwards, so, I mean, the man wasn't, the alcohol didn't slow him down. I'm not saying people go out and drink alcohol and go make you smart, because it ain't. I mean, these people were smart to begin with, and alcohol only makes you stupid. Take it from somebody that knows. I mightn't have had any for 30-some 1 years, but I did some stupid things when was using it. Broke into a store. I was lucky I only got 2 years probation out of that. Well, that was the first and last time I ever committed a crime like that. Because I wanted to get some money to buy booze. That's all. That's what it was. So, you know, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, you people, you look at your kids, the ones that has kids. Uh, they're not getting enough exercise. They're setting around too much. I mean, uh, take a family walk. Now that the whole family going out. My family's all gone, growing up. Uh, but you know, uh, take a family walk. Walk around the block. It wouldn't hurt you. I mean, I'm agoraphobic, but I mightn't do much walking outside, but I exercise every day, every night. My daughter walked in. She said, "Look at that, me sitting around doing nothing. That 60. I was 62." He said, "A 60-year-old man doing exercise like that. I do push-ups, sit-ups, kick my legs up in the air, go down and do a bicycle for a while, and then shoot a game of pool. Walk around the pool table. It burns off a lot of sugar, believe it or not." So I do all these things in the run of a day, and to keep my sugar levels good. Keep Try to keep my stomach weight down. I'm 78 kilograms. I don't know what that is in pounds. I haven't figured it out yet. 78 kilograms. I do that every day, all day long. And every day, never miss a day. I'm in such a routine, it's getting boring. I wake up before 8 because I take medication for blood pressure. I might look, well, I don't even look healthy. But anyway, I take 27 pills a day for blood pressure, 2 needles for diabetes. They're not all for blood pressure. Hell, half of them I don't even know what they're for. They just give them to me. And I said, well, they're doctors, so they must know what they're doing. I'm a nervous person too, so that's why I smoke. Smoking relaxes me, and well, people might say find another way to relax, but I got no pretty young girls around. Getting too old. Not too old yet, girls, but I mean, I'm getting there, so. I, I believe the best thing is laughter. Laughter is because I make jokes. A lot of this stuff I mean here, but I mean I kid around a lot, and I swear a lot too. But I try not to do it on here. But the F word is my uh, second language, uh, and I don't mind using it either. I get down, even in the building, I get down the store and I'll say, yeah, I'll start effing this. People try to say, well, don't be saying that. I said, I'll say any effing thing I want. But it's not, I mean, it's not right for me to do that, but it's automatic. I mean, a lot of people say it. They just, these people say it in private. They just try to look like they don't. They go to church to see what people wear and talk about them after they get out. I've seen them do it. They have church in the building and they have a hall there where they hold church every Sunday because some of these people can't go out to church. And I don't go to church because I believe God uh, can hear me when I pray. I pray. I say my prayers every day, believe it or not. And I pray for a better world. I pray for peace. I pray for what everybody else prays for. And and I believe in God. And I believe I relate to people that believe in Allah, Hindus, Buddha, Allah. That's their right. No, it's what I tried to say once before. I don't think too many people. We're all children of Abraham. The Muslims think they're children of Abraham. The Jews think they're children of Abraham, and the Christians think they're children of Abraham. So if we're all from the same family, why the are we fighting with each other all the time? There's no need of it. It's just money. Banks, when they created the Federal Reserve in 1913, 1914, the First World War started. And what happened after the First World War? Depression. People lost their job. They couldn't find work. They lost their houses. Who takes them back? The banks. Banks takes them back and they resell them. They make at a higher price. Like I say, it all comes back to the banks. The banks are the only ones that make money during war, depression, good times, bad times. You have it. They make the money, and you'll find some of the most powerful people behind the banks. So it really rats me. Now they've taken over student loans. I told my son when because a lot of people are claiming bankruptcy. I said, claim bankruptcy, but so you won't have to pay your student loan. He said, no, they were good enough to give it to me. I'm going to pay it back, and he did. He paid it back, 50 some thousand dollars, because it's just like a house, the interest, and when it goes through the bank, there's no. You have to pay the interest whether you pay it off early or not. You still have to pay the interest, to my knowledge. That is to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure that's the way it works in the bank. Like a finance company, if you pay it off early or something like that, you give a credit card, you lose some of the interest. You say if you have a credit card, your payment's $30, and you pay 60. Well, there's not as much interest, and it's paid off early. I mean, credit cards are not a real good thing either because of there's so many hidden charges, and this and that. Banks are the same way, but my bank's pretty good. I mean, I find them pretty good. As far as I know, it's about the only Canadian bank I know. Uh, uh, they call it the Bank of Nova Scotia, the Bank of Montreal, but they don't belong to uh, Canada. They belong to some guy in the States. I ain't going to tell you their names. That's their business. Uh, uh, the Toronto Dominion Bank. It's been around since I've been young. It belongs to people in Maine. I don't know exactly who, but it belongs to it's a Maine bank. I always thought it was Canadian. I always thought they were all Canadian banks, but they're not. So and well, this is which brings me around uh, to education. Now, I started off with the riots in Montreal. Why can't they start learning in 11 and 12 after all? They learned all the reading and writing and arithmetic and up to the 10th grade. Start their orientation into their chosen field at those ages, and maybe they might have to go to college for 1 year. Some of them can grade into training right on the job. Like I said, when a doctor he learns Latin, he learns how to write out a prescription, and I think that's another rack at that. But they got us over a barrel there, haven't they? Either we take them or because the old remedies are gone now. And there was always old remedies. Uh, I can't believe they let me talk this long. This machine must be broke, or I'm not being taped because any other time they stop me at 15 minutes. Jeez, I couldn't get you to watch them. I ain't going to get you to watch this, but I'll try. Now, there's a few people I asked you to look up. As Aleister Crowley. Anybody ever look him up? No. Kay Gribbs. Anybody ever look her up? No. People, you've got to find out the truth of what's going on in this world. You know, uh, and these are people that know. Aleister Crowley was the most evilest man that I've come across in searching on people. Drink the blood of babies. And maybe you don't like to hear a man that's on your dollar bill, Benjamin Franklin, was an alcoholic, drunk, and he practiced, he was Oh, he was the same as Aleister Crowley. Let's put it this way. Now, there were 300,000 babies missing in Spain. Sorry about that. Spain. I don't think they ever. I mean, where are the babies going? Who's taking them? Why are they taking them? The best uh, one to look up. Then maybe you have some opinions of your own. Share them. You know, I'm open to. I listen to Kay Gribbs. I read about Aleister Crowley. I uh, uh, Illuminati. I've learned about that. Illuminati is the only one that controls the Wikipedia. So if you go in there, you're not going to be sure whether you find out information the proper way or if it's being fake, because they're the only ones that can change it. I've been told. Actually, I read that in Wikipedia. To tell the truth. So you know, this is a vicious circle, but it's a circle that we're losing. We're losing this battle, and unless we all start sticking together, like one guy said, who knew what was going. He was on TV. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff I feed you, I get off TV. 60 Minutes, most of them. And then there's some other shows. So you take a look at some of those shows in reality, like that new show that come on the History Channel, the Hatfields and McCoys. I thought only one person died in that, and one person was hung. But wasn't. There were 13 killed, 10 shot, wounded, 8 in prison, only one hung. I got that part right, but the rest was all wrong. All over a pig. Well, actually, it was one of them. I don't know, was a Hatfield McCoy joined the Union Army, and the other family didn't like that. But it had something to do with a Razorback pig. That they went to court and sued them over the Hatfields over it. The McCoys did, and I guess she started from there. But there's 2 more episodes of it to come. It's Kevin Costner always makes these long movies, but this one actually is worthwhile watching. Uh, where he sits there and talks and talks and talks. I don't like that kind of movie. This is a good movie. Kevin Costner's made some good movies, but he makes long movies, and I like 2 hour movies. 2.5 at the most. Then you kind of lose interest, because it's especially when they're doing a lot of just sitting there talking back and forth, no action, and I like a little action in my movies, little nudity. That's a pervert side of me, I guess. As my wife tells me, I'm a pervert. Anyway, I like uh, the. I'll do stuff to embarrass my wife sometimes. I shouldn't be doing it, but I do. I had to go for a scan the other day, just in the prevention scan, and I had to change my shirt. So there was people sitting there, and my wife said, I started taking off my shirt. The wife said, "There's a changing room there." I said, "These people see my back before I had my back to them." I said, "If these people haven't seen the back before, well, they're going to see one now." I said, "I'll take all my clothes off. You don't shut up." She just sits there, shakes her head. I don't know. She's a good woman, though. She put up with a lot when I was drinking. I tell you, it's funny she's still with me. but I love her anyway. I love my family. It's really, really. I got some pictures there. I thought it was just one picture. I'm in one of them. I'm sitting there with my back to everybody else. I don't know what the hell. It's on my timeline. But still, those old pictures, man, bring back some memories. A lot of those people are dead. I had three. See, a lot of agoraphobic is hereditary. In case people don't know, agoraphobic is a person that takes panic attacks when they're out about, about out about in a bunch of people, and they'll take panic attacks. So I joined the club downstairs. I went to the first meeting, wasn't too bad. I went to the second meeting, and I could feel a panic attack coming on, so I talked myself out of it. Well, I just didn't pay attention to anybody else. I just kind of went into a world of my own. And I made it to the meeting, but I never went back to another one. I mean, I can sit around and talk to a couple of people. Like, uh, I can go down home and drive around. I don't mind going out in a car, because there's only a few people who can get in the car. It's usually my stepson and my daughter, my granddaughter and her husband, I should say. And we drive. I don't mind it. It's me and the wife and because you know, and he torments the hell out of me, and I keep telling him where he could go, and I mean we have a good relationship. I mean, and he's well they're not married yet. I don't know when they're planning on getting married. She's 22. She's finished. She's going to graduate from college this year. $20,000 a year to go to college. Can you imagine? Okay. It breaks my heart. But she's smart. Oh, well, smart. And if there's a penny to be saved, those two people can save it, and they can take you where you can save it too. They're very good that way. Coupons, well, they're not, well, they do collect coupons. If they have a sale day, that's when they go get the groceries on sale days. Anyway, I'm getting away from the point. Well, I like talking about my family because I got a great family. I still got 10 brothers and sisters left. One died. The youngest one died. Died laughing. I always say because she was laughing so hard she went and sat on the couch. And this is why I had to go for the scan for my. I told my doctor about it. She's a new doctor. I just got her, and I was telling her that she came in and sat down on the couch, and then her head busted, an aneurysm. I still think it was just a thin vein, but they said no. The doctor said no. It must have had to be an aneurysm. So I had to. She said it runs in the family. You better go get yours checked. So they sent paying up appointments. So I had to go get my check. That's why I was in the hospital. Anyway, explain that. And what the hell I got on to that? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my family. My family's great. I mean, a lot of us used to drink, but we all settled down when we got older. We not too much drinking. I mean, and most of my family's pretty intelligent. I was the black sheep of the family. I didn't get the brains because I was too busy doing all the work for my older brother, who kept jumping up the upstairs window and taking off to go see the girls while I was out chopping wood and hit my brother over the head with an axe one time. They said he had a split personality one time. He was a bad little juicer. And I know everybody's personality changes when they're drinking, but that's no excuse. Then I remembered I was chopping wood one time, and when he was picking it up and taking it in the house, he bent down to pick up some wood, and I was coming down with the axe. I hit him right over the head. Well, I hid in the woods until dark. And I was only young then, and I was scared of the dark, so I had to go home. I don't know. That's all. The only part of it I remember. I don't know what happened out there. Well, no, my parents never beat us, but like I said, when my dad wants attention, he does like that guy on NCIS does. He taps you in the back of the head. He gets your attention. But I remembered all this. I was going through a picture of my family, some of my family there, and my uncles and aunts and cousins are all in there, and you know. But like I was saying, I had my grandfather, his daughter, and her daughter all died of emphysema. Uh, my grandmother died of diabetes because she didn't look after it. My mother died of cancer. My dad died of heart congestion because he wouldn't quit smoking. Uh, I smoked 22 cigarettes a day or less. I never smoked more. And like everything in my life's timed. I take time out to do this. But I usually have a schedule. I get up before 8 o'clock, so I wouldn't have to take all my pills at once. Because they do that in hospital. Like my sodium dropped too low one time because the doctor told me to quit eating salt. So I didn't eat salt and anything. I ended up in the hospital. I thought I took a heart attack. My sodium dropped too low. It takes 2 weeks to in an IV to get that back up there, your sodium back up. And I said, well, I take my pills on the schedule. She said, we have our own schedule. And they kept shoving all the pills into me all at once. They were all white, so I couldn't say whether they were making a mistake or not. Then she'd come in, why is your sugar always high? I said, well, you keep feeding me the pills all at the same time. You send oranges twice a day here for meals. I said, you know, orange is what you take when your diet sugar drops real low to build it up fast. Anyway, that's here and there. Now, think about the education system. See if it makes sense to you. Now, you got to train for a job, no matter what job you take. You really need all that education. For 2 years, the last 2 years of your high school, 11 and 12. Some people have 13, and I think in Ontario it goes up to 13. Some places, maybe in the States. But in those, can't you learn what the trade you and concentrate on that trade, then just grow it and practice? Because no matter what job you take, you got to learn how to do it anyway. You know, you get my point. You don't come on a computer and learn how to operate it in. I've been on here 2.5 years, and not even 2.5 years. I was 2010. I had it hooked up in March 2010. So March, April, May. I've had it for about 14 months, and it keeps surprising me. Well, this is surprising me right now because usually they only let me talk for 15 minutes, cut me right off. So I'm gonna let you go now because it's almost an hour, and I don't want to wear out my welcome. Please try to listen to this. It's about health. Uh, we got to start thinking about children's health. I know I started off with, and then I start going into the things I usually go into. I ramble on there, but I've researched all this stuff. Well, except the sugar thing, which only sounds natural. Like I've been listening to it for a few days, and anything that man made is harder to burn out of your body, like trans fats. You can't burn trans fats out of your body because it wasn't made. Fats you can burn, but not trans fats, because now they're taking it out of a lot of the foods because uh, they were caught up to, or they become a little more healthy minded. But I mean, take a look at your kids. They're all, not all of them, but they say 3/4 of them are obese. 3/4 of the children today, and they don't have a life expectancy of us that bad. I heard this on some guy on John Stewart talking about this. Now Colbert, and Colbert made a joke of it. I mean, that's the gist of the show. But the guys they talk. They're there. They tell the thing the way it really is. And uh, and Colbert said, "Well, just think, you wouldn't have to worry about the old age security. They wouldn't have to start cutting things in old age security." It was funny in a way, but I mean, but when you think about the outcome, it's not so funny. So as soon as I figure out how to stop this, I'm going to stop it, and hope you listen to it. Take an hour. I mean, it's an hour in the day. Watch, sit back and cook. Turn this on and see if I make any sense. If I don't make any sense, well, shut it off. But try to listen to it, please. Some of these things got to be true. I'm saying. Well, I think they're all true, but I mean, the education thing I've only been thinking about for a few weeks, but it makes sense to me. You got to train no matter what kind of. You go into a fast food place, you got to train how to do that job. I mean, my wife works in a fast food place and assistant manager, and some of those people that has to be trained take a long, long time. So I'll let you go, and please listen to it. Listen to some of these tapes I'm telling you. Check out some of the people I've asked you to check out. It's very interesting reading. It's interesting reading, and maybe you'll learn that we got to start setting up and standing up and doing something about what's going on in the world. It's not up to the people in the government. It's not up to the people in the government are holding things back. They're not telling us everything, and well, of course, there's got to be secrets in the army and stuff like that. I mean, you can't go around broadcasting everybody what your next strategy is for if you're in a war or something. I mean, that's only reasonable. But there's a lot of stuff to keep from us. So let's try that, okay? Thank you.